All right, so before you think, there's old Ranger Nick hanging out at the beach with what looks like a bunch of chimneys behind me. I'm not. I'm actually inside of a state-of-the-art training facility in Griffin, Georgia that spends time training folks related to termite protection. And there's a guy that knows a thing or two about termites and pest control, and that's Dan Suter. Dan, I would shake your hand, but just because of social distancing, we can't. Dan,
very good.
We're standing in Griffin, Georgia, but we're standing inside of this facility. What is this? Why did you invite me here today?
Hey, Nick. So what you're looking at here is a what's called the Structural Pest Control Training Facility. So it was built in 1998. So go back a little bit. The pest control industry, anybody that works in the pest control industry, there's about 10,000 to 12,000 employees in the state of Georgia. And in most other states, you have comparable numbers of employees. They have to be regulated. They have to be licensed.
Okay.
And to be licensed, they have to undergo continuing education.
Okay.
So what we provide for them here with this training facility is a way for termite control technicians, folks that are going to come out and do termite treatments on people's homes, to learn a little bit about principles of termite management and control. So
interesting.
We bring them to a facility like this about 6 or 8 times a year and show them how to control termites based on the various components of the structure that they're looking at.
And what we're looking at here, I was joking about these seeming like they're little chimneys, but these are pillars in what would be the underside of a house, in the crawl space of a house. So you have to picture the ceiling, the floor over top of me right here.
Correct. So if I was a pest control technician and I was in here, I would have to be like, this is where the name crawl space comes from. You're crawling through this structure, and there's a wooden pier on this. There's a wooden pillar on this. So, and it goes from here over to that one over there. So a termite control technician would have to come in here, and they would have to dig a trench around the outside of this thing. And apply some chemical around here, because a common way that termites get up into the structure is either through the inside, the voided area of the pier, or they can build a mud tube from the outside. These are subterranean termites, so they live in the soil. Or they could build a termite tunnel, a mud tunnel up into the wood, and that's how they get into the structure. So a termite technician would have to come in here and treat every one of the piers or pillars in the crawl space.
And imagine this for the folks at home. Pretend that we're in a crawl space. The technician, he or she, is on their hands and knees with this equipment. Dan, you were telling me earlier, every 10 feet, 4 gallons of treatment every 10 feet?
That's the standard. That's the standard rate of application for liquid termiticides. Those are the chemicals that we use to control termites, called termiticides. You have to put you have to mix that up at a rate of 4 gallons and apply it at a rate of 4 gallons every 10 feet of wall. On your hands and knees in there. So what I want to do next, from this type of sand that we're standing in this pillar, some folks at home may have foam on the underside of their house. I want to go there next. Dan, there's a place in this area where you've got some foam. I want to help the folks at home and learn about what you're doing with that. So let's head over there next. Okay, Dr. Suter, so we've moved locations at the training facility, and we're underneath of this makeshift crawl space, and I'm looking at foam over here near you, and I'm looking at foam over here near me. What's the difference? Why is this? So that's the way you should do it.
Oh, okay.
And this is the way you should not do it. What we're looking at over here is the way it should not be done. So termites live in the soil. And they will actually tube. They don't eat, but they'll actually get behind the insulation. They'll actually tube through the insulation. And the problem with that is if they tube through this insulation, they get from the soil and they tube back behind this insulation, they'll get up into the wood completely undetected. They'll get up into the wood joists and headers. They'll get up in that wood and go completely undetected by a pest control company.
Wow. And they're up there just eating away and chewing away without us even knowing.
That's right. So during your annual inspection, after you've had your home treated, or you maybe have had, you might think that you have termites, you want to get an inspection. Many companies will come in and do a free inspection if you ask them to. When they come into a crawl space to do an inspection, if they run into foam board or foam or any type of insulation on the wall like this, they actually can't see the wood that's covered, and that can create problems. Even if they have even if you have a current contract with the pest control company, and you go and apply rigid foam board insulation, it can nullify your contract.
So that can impact the warranty.
That's right.
So being able to do this, have this be the way to do it so they can see the wood is the best way to go, you're saying. Excellent. Dan, I want to walk us down here. And you told me a little bit earlier, this was a porch. That's part of the training facility.
That's right. This is a porch. It's part of the training facility.
Yeah. So what are you showing us here? This is a cutaway what?
So this would be somebody's front door.
Okay.
And during the construction of a home, a lot of times construction companies will put a lot of their junk and trash into a porch, and they'll pour concrete on top of it.
Uh-huh.
And there's soil in the porch.
Yeah.
And through time, the soil that's in here will recede away from the ceiling of the poured concrete.
Okay.
And the problem is, this is where your front door is. This is the wood sill of your front door.
Yeah.
And it's literally 6 or 8 inches away from soil where there are termites, and it's easy for termites to get up into the structure that way.
Gosh, and think about that threshold. Who would think about this if it wasn't for somebody like you and the termite technicians? I want to go last and help the folks at home learn what do we do to prevent termites from getting into our homes. So I want to walk over to a building with you, Dan, and have us send us off today with some words of wisdom for what to do. So let's go there next.
So Nick, termites love moisture.
Okay.
They're really soft-bodied insects. They live in the ground because of the moisture.
Okay.
So if whatever you can do to keep moisture away from your structure really helps. Don't ever pile mulch right up next to the structure. So what mulch does is it keeps moisture in the soil.
Yeah.
It's good for your plants, but insects are attracted to that as well.
Okay.
You know, termites, they'll eat some of the mulches, but the real key issue with mulch is the moisture issue. So moisture, the moisture holds your termites closer to the structure.
Okay.
If they're closer to the structure, that's more likely they're going to get into the structure. So,
and even with pine straw? I mean, is it kind of pulling that pine straw back too?
correct. And so another thing about when a termite control specialist comes and does an inspection, you want to make sure that he can see the wall right up next to the structure. So you don't want to pile that mulch right up next to the structure.
Excellent. And if I find an insect at home, you and I were talking earlier, I can actually put it in a sandwich bag and I can mail that or give that to an extension agent for them to identify whether it's a termite or flying ant?
Yeah, if you ever have anything that flies in your home and you think it might be a termite or you just want a quick answer, put it in a little baggie, a couple caps full of rubbing alcohol, and send it off to your county extension agent.
Can you just imagine? I mean, there's the benefit of extension again. Doc, thanks so much for joining us today. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did, learning about these things and what you can do to prevent them. Well, y'all know what to do. When you're online checking out the Farm Monitor Facebook page and seeing what's going on there, hop on over to the Ranger Nick Facebook page and see what I've got going on. And until next time, as I always say, Doc, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you right back here again next month. See ya.